and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the meeting.
I think only one.
We get up a light now.
I think they've got it, so they can watch.
Roll call, Diane.
Mr. Douglas?
Here.
Mr. Barber?
Here.
Mr. Jonah?
Here.
Mr. Irwin?
Here. Here.
Unless you want to call and duke it out.
Mr. Farrell, our highway superintendent? Mr. Tedro, water and sewer superintendent? Ms. Barber, confidential secretary to the board, the one and only?
For our town.
For our town.
The best.
Mr. Gwinnett, zoning officer. Shaka, our dock control officer. And I didn't forget anybody.
Nope. Yourself, comptroller, Mr. Bags.
Back to Mr. Ryan.
Our banker.
Okay. First thing on here, I need a motion to accept the highway department report from Mike.
Make it. Second it.
Jim Douglas, Craig, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, I need a motion to approve the public hearing of December 12th.
Make it. Second it.
Rick made the motion, Craig seconded it. Any questions on it for the public hearing? Good, Diane, thank you.
Except
All
I forgot. Was that the one that I didn't do the V on, the Mr.?
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion and a second to approve the regular board meeting of December 12th.
Make it. Second it.
Jim Douglas made the motion, Craig second. Any questions on that one? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, Di.
Community input, number 6. Anyone want to speak on community input?
Nobody has signed up.
Okay, so we will go on to number 7. January 9th, we are going to set the first meeting of the year, and then we will have a list of all the meetings and the times for the whole year that day. But we will set the organizational meeting and regular meeting on January 9th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Organizational meeting will start, and then the regular meeting will follow like it usually does. Is that good with you 3?
Yep.
You 3 are alone is going to be here.
Yeah.
Mel won't be here because it's something he's having done, and I will be gone. So you 3 only, you 3 have to be here.
No S.
So, as long as
I
you
want
guys
to
are,
raise.
you got one. As long as you guys are good with that.
Zoom?
Well, if someone came up, I would say leave them alone. If you didn't have to. If someone came up,
Code notes, you may not want to talk to me.
but if someone came up where you need them, if someone came up with one of you 3, then you would have to bug them to Zoom. But I would say no unless we have to. Okay.
I think we can get along okay.
I think so.
I know you can get along okay, just as long as someone doesn't come up. If someone does, then we have
We can handle that.
bug them. Okay. With that being said,
Jim has
I need a motion and a second to set that meeting.
I'll make it.
Rick,
Second it.
by Craig, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's the organizational meeting the 9th, and the regular meeting will follow, and then we will have a list of all the meetings for the year from there on.
Sounds great.
Number 8, we need to rescind the bid that was awarded to Freedom Fencing. I'm sorry, C&E fence bid due. It was incorrect because they didn't have all the footage of.
Yeah, the fencing and the gates were missing, and everybody missed it. So I rebid it. I forget what the total was. It's obviously higher, so.
It's about 3,000 higher, 2,500.
C&E is still the lowest after it went back to rebid to everyone. As you can see, it's in here. C&E is still the lowest of the companies. They both rebidded. The 2 that did rebid. C&E is still the lowest on the rebid. If you have any questions, Mike, it's the time to ask him on that.
Yeah, I called to tell them they had the job, and then that's when I talked to Lee himself. He apologized, he said, Mike, I can't do it, because point blank, if it was $500, I missed. He said, but that's a lot. I said, okay. So I said, well, I got to throw it out, throw all the bids out, and I talked to Pam and rebid it.
Yep.
Same thing.
We make the motion to rescind the resolution 22-12-12-1.
Greg made that motion.
I'll second it.
Mel second. All in favor?
Aye.
Then we go right into the rewarding of the bid. And like I said, both companies that bid last time did rebid with exact measurements and everything. And C&E is still lower by $700.
Yeah.
So I need a motion and a second to award that bid with the resolution.
I'll make it.
Rick?
I'll second it.
Craig second, resolution Diane.
Resolution to purchase fencing to enclose salt storage area by the Town of Peru Highway Department. Whereas the Town of Peru Town Board has found the need to purchase chain link fencing for the highway to more efficiently and to prevent theft of stored salt. The Town Highway Department received 2 rebids, and C&E Fencing LLC was the lowest responsible bid received. Whereas the lowest rebid received was $10,635. Whereas the Town Board and the Highway Department Superintendent have determined that the new fencing of the salt storage area would provide the Highway Department to more efficiently protect the salt from theft and to award the bid to C&E Fencing LLC, and now be it resolved that the Town Supervisor is authorized to sign all paperwork to execute this purchase as soon as possible. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
And Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
When are they gonna start?
I got a call, I didn't call them back because I didn't know with the extra price if you go for it or not, so.
Okay, so that was number 9. So number 10, it's a motion and a second for a resolution to approve a single source supplier for salt tracking cameras. Like,
Yeah, I had gotten a price for the cameras and the salt trackers, and then because of the amount, I tried to find some other vendors. And I reached out to Town of Hague and the Lake George Association, that's the only vendor. So that's why we did talked to Pam, the single source vendor for a bid. So we had to do this first before. So it's out of Canada, that's the ones that do it. And if you want to know what it's the salt trackers, what it is, it'll actually tell us what we're putting down per lane mile and how many pounds. And the idea is, as I said before, is to keep turning that dial down, keep putting less and less till you see it doesn't work, and then find your sweet spot, turn it back up. And if you drove our roads in these last few storms, you see that salt's working.
it is, absolutely.
It's going to save you the spring because there's going to be absolutely no sweeping. So it's, you don't going to spend, and that's why
You're not gonna go around and fit where you put all that dirt on my lawn?
No.
No?
I can tell you like this on my street,
You're
the
kidding.
last week before we got a little bit of snow, it was dry, it was white colored.
You'll notice it on the total, once it gets a little more, you'll notice it on the snowbanks. Your snowbanks won't be high. But we're putting out too much, we know that. They're gonna pay for themselves, it's just a matter of, you gotta spend, that's why we left the salt budget the same to get the equipment, and this is part of it.
So these go on the truck themselves?
They go on their truck, there's a
not a
little sensor that
security
goes right
unit?
on the spinner. I got 2 units right now, but we ended up, we're gonna have the same amount of units, and there's gonna be cameras, but we cut them down, that's what the new resolution is for. But it's all technology, science-based, but we'll know exactly what we're putting down. So.
What about security for the salt grind system itself? Do we have a camera on that?
I guess you lost, on the salt shed?
It's inside.
Well, that's what the fence was for, so they can't, in that unit, it's,
Okay.
the sprayer, all that stuff, it's all gonna be on the truck, but they're all gonna be in the truck.
Okay.
So, need a motion and a second for this resolution first, and then we go into the purchase.
Make the motion.
Craig?
I'll second.
Mel, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution, Diane?
A resolution authorizing the naming the company as Xylix Incorporated as the sole source of cameras and tracking system for the efficiency of the salt brine system and temperature tracking of roads for the highway department. Whereas the town of Peru has a policy of competitive purchasing practices where practicable, and whereas the goods and services are only available from a sole source supplier, that being Xilex Incorporated, for the camera and tracking system used in conjunction with the salt brine system for efficiency and safety. Whereas the goods and services have unique or special design / performance features, characteristics, or capabilities that are essential and required to accompany the salt brine system. No substitute exists that can meet the needs of the equipment. Whereas procurement of single source equipment and services related to the highway department allows for efficient operations, maintenance and repair, as well as promotes the public's interest for the safety and de-icing of the roads in the town of Peru. Resolved, the town board is in full support of naming the above company as sole source for the identified camera and tracking systems by use of the highway department. Now therefore be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes, very good resolution, by the way.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Okay, now we get into
You write that, Pam? You write this?
Huh?
Did you write this resolution?
Yeah,
of course you did.
Very efficient, very good. Covers everything.
huh?
It covers everything.
I tried.
And then we move it right into 11. I need a motion and a second for a resolution for that one.
Motion.
Craig,
Second.
second by Rick. Discussion, Mike?
Yep, that, originally we were looking at the 8 tracker units, we still are. That gives us one for the spare truck, or spare if a unit goes down. We were originally looking at 15 cameras, but thank God, Hague came up this morning, they called and they were put fuel in the truck and they were coming unannounced, so I picked their brain about, do we need that many, because it's quite a chunk of change. And they suggested we take the Beasleville run, the Patton run, and the Union Jarvis run where we have the most problem, and just put 2 there, so that dropped that down to 6 cameras. So that's why that changes, so it, you know, saves some money. It is $8,000 a year for a subscription, but, you know, I'll be able to look at that thing and I can tell you from my phone or computer what it's doing. And so, you know, I'll be able to, so, yeah.
It's actually only $5,000 now for
So it's,
subscription.
$5,040
Yeah, so-
for the subscription.
yeah, oh yeah, because that comes back. So it's, they are on solar panels, the cameras, and they work off cell tower, will send the thing to the computer. So actually our RT guy put one together. I got one more already on the desk. So we were thinking he didn't care how we pay for it. It'll be one-shot payment. In February we could have broke it out any which way. So back in paying, go February. It's going to come out of my salt line budget, what we're saving and that's we were going to use for parts. So that's what this is.
What they say, you said the $8,000
Subscription, yeah.
That's yearly?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's only 5.
It's only 5.
Okay.
and that's for the trackers too and cameras. So that's everything.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right.
So these will be a camera position out on that?
Yep, they'll mount on a pole. You can put them on a tree or pole, but I'm gonna get permission from NICEC just because with the wind and stuff, the trees, I mean, a pole can blow over too, but I think a pole would be better. And then, you know, I've already went around and picked some spots and, you know, we'll know when it's icing right off the bat, and like I said, it'll save trips around checking
Yeah.
roads.
Absolutely. Or guessing and
Yeah.
going up there like you do all
Go
the time.
right to your phone, I mean, where.
Yeah,
Spot?
I think it can go to my phone too. When I first stopped, I believe that, I mean, the IT guy will have set that up where it goes to both, but,
So if you look at your quote, it says that it's a single head, it covers air temperature and
Yeah.
pavement temperature. I don't know what RH is.
yeah, it'll give me the air temperature, it'll give me the actual temperature of the road. So we'll know if it's raining, it'd say it's 30 degrees and you know it's freezing.
Yeah.
You know, so it's,
Bob says relative humidity.
yeah.
You're welcome.
My truck does that when I start. It says possible maybe some ice.
I don't mind them, or the ones we got in the pickup, we just put some in the trucks and a red light comes on, that tells you.
Okay, any more discussion on that before
Right.
Diane reads the resolution?
No, for high tech, I like it.
A resolution to purchase weather station camera salt tracking system and seasonal subscriptions from Xylex by the town, incorporated by the town of Peru Highway Department. Whereas the town of Peru Town Board has found a need to purchase 6 weather station cameras and 8 salt tracking systems for the highway department to use the salt brine system more efficiently and to help determine the temperatures and conditions of the outlying roads. The town highway department receiving the price from Xylex Incorporated, single source supplier. Whereas the price quote received was $37,484 to purchase mini RWIS weather station cameras, MTS Pro salt tracker systems, and solar panel as per attached quote seasonal subscriptions. And whereas the town board and the highway department superintendent have determined that the new camera systems and would provide the highway department to more efficiently use the salt brine system and track the road temperatures and to award the purchase to Xylex Incorporated. And now be it resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to sign all paperwork to execute this purchase as soon as possible. Mr. Barker?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Earl?
Yes.
Mr. Barker?
Yes.
So I just got a question, Mike. On the solar panel, it says large solar panel, but it's
One
not
of
gonna
them-
be one on each camera?
No, there's a solar panel, they're about this size.
Yeah,
But one of them, because of the trees, if you got a lot of trees around, I had to go, and that's the one on Mannix Road.
okay.
Between Donnie Cobles and Fat Road, actually, there was one spot where I could've went with a smaller, but there's really no trees there, and the sun's gonna beat, so I think it's gonna throw everything off, so I was going down to the next pole. So,
Gotcha.
So it's gonna be on Mannix Road, Mike?
yeah, there's gonna be one in Mannix, one in Patton, one in Union, probably one in Jarvis or River Road probably,
Yep.
and then,
Determine the best.
Peasleyville, and then, either Norrisville Road or one of them.
Will we be able to tell when Rick leaves his house?
What's that?
Will we be able to tell when Rick leaves his house?
No, because it won't be there.
Let's keep track of him.
Okay. That's done. Number 12 is just a pay app. It's already been approved. Everything's been looked through. Obviously, this comes to us just to make a motion and second it. I need a motion and second for the pay app number 4 of Elm Street project for Luck Brothers. Jim Douglas,
Second it.
second Craig Bruno.
Is this the pay app that's gonna have the
No.
extra?
No, next. Next thing is not. Okay, so it's 243,105.74.
But I thought we were doing something with, that they owed us some more work. Well, they
This
will-
isn't the final
they
payment.
will-
This isn't the
This
final
isn't the final
bill.
payment.
Now, this is this pay app for.
Okay,
Yeah, this isn't the final. We won't see the final for it.
okay, gotcha.
So, I
Thank
got a
you.
motion from Jim Douglas, second by Craig. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Like I said, that comes to us after it's already been
Yep.
all fumbled through and all that. Now this one, number 13. I need a motion, well, it's not really a motion in a second right now. This is for discussion purpose only right now. Matt's not here. This is an increase, I understand, that came through for $6,936.02. Courtney, you want to discuss this at all? Or do you want to wait until Matt on January 9th to look it over and?
Probably should have Matt look it over.
Okay, so I would say we don't do anything with this as of right now, until Matt looks it over and we have more discussion on it. It's an increase from the bid.
This is because they used the wrong asphalt?
No,
No, Upstone didn't hold their bid price. They charged a
Right,
lot more for asphalt.
because they gave him a 6F instead of a 6.
well, asphalt's bid, just so you know, it's bid on, and the same thing affects us too, on the county bid, it's price of oil, if oil goes up, the asphalt. As, you know, I said earlier, we started out at $48 or $49. When we finished the shim jobs on the 3 roads, it was 62. It just, they were refused this payment on all their other jobs, and I think it's just, I hate to say it, because I grew up with her, but point blank is, my thing is, I'm not willing to pay it, I had already told her that.
Yep.
You want a motion to table that for now?
And yeah, motion to table, and like I said, we can definitely decide on January 9th at the meeting. we can definitely decide not to pay it, or we can decide to, you know, look at it at least more, and also get Matt's opinion, and you guys talk to Mike and Courtney too in the meantime. Now, I'm in a motion to table, Rick second, all in favor?
Aye.
So we table that until we have more discussion. Okay. Now is line transfers. We got a number of them. Okay, so number 14, I need a motion and a second for line item transfer from general fund for 2022. Need a motion and a second, we get a resolution.
I'll make it. Second. No, Jim can.
So we go Rick and Jim. Rick with the motion, Jim second. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution died.
Resolution authorizing transfer of town funds within the general fund. Whereas in order to meet financial needs for the management of the town general accounts, funds need to be transferred from the line items with positive balances to line items with negative balances. And whereas the outstanding positive balances in the general fund are more than adequate to cover the accounts in need of transfer, be it resolved that the town board is authorized to attach 10 transfers in the total amount of $16,991 to better align negative and positive line items. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Yes. Next one is gonna be the same thing. And if you're with us years and years and years ago, we used to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Obviously, Judy, Pam, Diane, and everyone has got this down to a matter of like probably 20, 30 for a year. So it's used to be hundreds and throughout the year. So it's very,
It was mainly Judy
yeah.
who did it.
So it's worked out. It's worked out really good and better aligned and everything else.
I didn't do it, Judy did.
Judy and Pam. So thank you both for this because, like I said, years ago it used to be hundreds. Number 15, same thing. Need a motion and a second to transfer line item transfers for highway 2022 fund.
Make a motion.
Craig?
I'll second.
Nell, resolution, Diane.
Resolution authorizing transfer of town funds within the highway fund. Whereas in order to meet the financial needs for the management of the town highway accounts, funds need to be transferred from line items with positive balances to line items with negative balances. And whereas the outstanding positive balances in the highway fund are more than adequate to cover the accounts in need of transfer, be it resolved that the town board is authorized 19 transfers in a total amount of $142,314.05 to better align negative and positive line items. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
And Mr. McDermott?
Yes.
I mean, that's a big chunk of change. Is there anything that stands out? Anything? Yep, we got it.
Gas.
Gas.
Fuel oil.
Fuel oil, gas.
Gas.
All right.
Also his, the work that had to be done on the generator was a big chunk also.
Okay.
And what, parts maybe?
Yeah, parts, everything through the roof, it's
All right. Well, fuel alone.
Fuel oil.
Fuel oil is the
or
biggest one of it.
gas and diesel.
Fuel was the biggest.
But I think you guys, and thanks to Pam and you and Courtney, that's why if you try to take it out, like years ago, Randy used to say, was we just rob Peter to pay Paul. If you do your budget and you see that this year you were overspent, you
Better
better
align
align
it.
one. And, you know, and I think that's how you, Pam.
Oh, definitely. And when we do the budget, that's why we try to, if it's over budget, that it shows up before the budget time, so we, you know, don't just push it off onto another account.
Yep.
So we see what the actual overage is and try and adjust it the following year for the budget.
The better
So-
alignment.
Mike, didn't you say you were out of fuel money in June?
What?
You gotta speak up now. You
I
can't hear
said, wasn't like by June, July, your fuel money was getting real low?
Yes,
Price.
actually, I was at a fuel line item, I think it was end of June.
Yeah, that, because I remember you and I talking about it.
You know, and
That's why.
I said this all along with this tax cap, it's great for people paying taxes, but with the prices of parts and trucks and then fuel and everything else going up,
It doesn't get you.
either cut services or this is what you gotta do. It's dog eat dog world, unfortunately. It's
Okay, number 16, same thing. I need a motion and a second, transfer for Peru sewer funds 2022.
Make it.
Jim Douglas,
Second.
Mel. Resolution, Diane.
Resolution authorizing transfer of town funds within the Peru sewer fund. Whereas in order to meet the financial needs of the management of the town Peru sewer accounts, funds need to be transferred from line items with positive balances to line items with negative balances. And whereas the outstanding positive balances in the Peru sewer fund are more than adequate to cover the accounts in need of transfers. Be it resolved that the town board has authorized the attached 4 transfers in the total amount of $13,021.43 to better align negative and positive line items. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
No, so it's all
Pam,
on one.
what happened, John? Swing her door. If John wants to do it.
okay.
Yeah, you wait until you get it in January.
That way that doesn't show up on the camera when they're talking. Thank you.
What's going out the window?
No, there's no window. That is on the camera.
Didn't really mean,
Number
didn't
17.
really mean to slam it, I just shut it.
Set the message.
Number 17, I need a motion in a second. Transfer of Valcourt sewer funds. Rick, and second by Jim. Resolution dies.
Resolution authorizing transfer of town funds within the Valcourt sewer fund. Whereas in order to meet the financial needs of the management of the town Valcourt sewer account, funds need to be transferred from line items with positive balances to line items with negative balances. And whereas the outstanding positive balances in the Valcourt sewer fund are more than adequate to cover the accounts in need of transfer. Be it resolved that the town board has authorized the attached 2 transfers in the total amount of $523.37 to better align negative and positive line items. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Nice small transfers, Courtney, good job.
Old star.
And last one, number 18, I need a motion and second to transfer for water funds 2022.
I'll make that motion.
Mel,
Second it.
by Craig. Resolution, Diane.
Resolution authorizing transfer of town funds within the water fund. Whereas in order to meet the financial needs of the management of the town water accounts, funds need to be transferred from line items with positive balances to line items with negative balances. And whereas the outstanding positive balances in the water fund are more than adequate to cover the accounts in need of transfers. Be it resolved that the town board has authorized the attached 3 transfers in the total amount of $3,763.95 to better align negative and positive line items. Resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, number 19, other business, Rick.
I'm good.
Jim.
good, just Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank
To
you.
you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Diane.
The only thing, waiting for tax rolls. That's why my phone's here, so I was watching to hear from the treasurer's office. They still don't have them. So there was a glitch, something to do with mailing, so.
Something to do with
The shipping up from Albany or the bank codes and whatnot, but here nor there, I'm set up, ready to go, and push comes to shove come Tuesday, I can go on the computer to take care of it until I can get them downloaded once we get them. And Judy and I are just hoping that they send them in order this year, because last year they didn't, and it took us, between the two of us, 14 hours to get them in order.
and you mentioned that too.
I have spoken,
No, I mean about last year, about the way it was.
well, you don't get anywhere, so it doesn't matter, so it's a waste of breath. So, but anyway, so hopefully I will have the tax roll, but if I don't, off and running Tuesday morning. Nothing else I can do. I can't control it, can't change it.
Thank you, Diane. Anything else?
I got a question for the board. I talked it over with Brandy and Mel one day. We were sitting in here talking with Pam. I would like to put a cupola over the top of the bell to kind of give it protection from the weather, now that we've got it sitting up there, and Rick did a nice job on it. I asked him, actually, I think it was just after we rang the bell, if that could be done, and he said yes. So I would like to take some measurements on it and see what it would cost to have that done.
Like I told you, Rick, absolutely get prices on it and see where it is, and
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My thought was, and Mel said something about it, I wanted to put something like Fornces did with Roger Fornces' house when he put the copper roof on, and it looked like a nice shiny penny, and to preserve it with a spray. And then Mel said something that it probably should match everything that we've already done down there. So it's that barn red roof that we put on the
mason.
The old building, plus we did it with the amphitheater, with the roof on the amphitheater last summer. So we'll see where it goes. It would be cheaper to do it with the regular roofing than the copper. But
It's not a big roof though.
No, we're looking at something that might be 4 feet by 4 feet square.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd say definitely get a price, like we talked about.
I will.
Good.
We're gonna stay with metal for underneath too, not go to wood.
Well, we're gonna have to put some wood on it, some plywood, Advantech, which is good for 50 years against rot, to screw the roof too. But other than that, we should be all right.
Okay.
I'll have Rick come up with a design for it, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Good.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks.
Now,
No, just reflecting back and all the volatility, we're just talking about the price of fuel and how much of a dynamic year it's been. It's
the only good thing is
kind of happy that we were able to stay under the tax cap despite of all that.
The only good thing is the gas is going the other way right now, but for how long or what's going on, we don't know. You know, we can't, that's one thing the guessing is. Anything else? No? Greg?
Nope. Thank you
Shaka?
very much.
Bob?
Talk about the price of gas. I encourage everybody to get to the gas pumps before the tax, the New York State taxes are added back on. It's expires the 31st, so it's going to go up about 25 cents a gallon. And I understand that they're not going to continue it because they said that a lot of that money is used for bridges,
There's a lot,
roads, everything else. So
Stadiums in Buffalo.
yeah.
Storage
Get
goes
the
up.
gas-
No,
get to the gas station filled before that.
Flooding Buffalo Stadium.
No, that's all I got.
I'll fill up right now.
Christine?
Basketball jerseys are ordered, should be in today or tomorrow. He'll still printing them, so we'll have them within the next 2 weeks. Practices start next week. I have 3 teams without coaches, so I'm gonna go home and make 42 phone calls and try and persuade some people to do it. But I will set up practices for those 3 teams as well and meet with all of them and let them know this is where you're at. You've got a team as long as you can give me a coach. I've got practice schedules already set up through a Google sheet. So teams have already signed up for time slots. Diana over at the high school is all on board. I sent 2 students to the officiating clinics. So I know that we have 2 kids in this area who I've already told if they get a phone call from another town, they're to tell them no, I've got them booked solid. Everything seems to be going quite well.
What was the total amount you had now, did you say, for basketball?
So each team has approximately 14 kids.
Nice.
We have 8 teams right now. So
one of the teams, and I allowed for it just in case, because we only have one 3rd and 4th grade girls team. So if we get within the next couple of weeks, the schedule doesn't come out until the 20th. Games start until the 28th. So Nick was very nice and said, you know, if for some reason you get other kids that are in the town, I can split that up into 2 teams so that the numbers aren't too high. So I've already taken care of and allowed for that. So.
That's cool.
Good. Awesome.
Great news, thank you.
Talking about youth director too, we do have to advertise in the paper regardless who gets a job, who doesn't get the job, who applies. We do have to advertise the position because it's you know, civil service position, right? Is civil, yeah, civil service position. So we do have to advertise it regardless of who has it, who's going to get it, who is going to apply. We should advertise that, I believe, like now. What do you guys
For
think?
the organizational
Yeah.
meeting.
So I'd say let's get it advertised because we have to, by law, we have to, regardless of who gets it. Or
I spoke
who we appoint.
I spoke to Pam, and rather than that's a costly if you put out too big of a job description.
Yeah.
So I asked Pam, and Pam had said, you have something.
Brief.
What we can do is just have them
Sum it up.
contact our website or here to get
Yeah.
For the details.
the details.
Yeah, because
what's
that way we're not paying
expected.
for a big ad, you know?
Yeah.
You don't.
Because obviously we have, well,
Obviously, we won't have applications in by the organizational meeting, so we'll just put to be
to
determined.
be determined like we have in the past on a job that we have to advertise.
Are
So-
you still interested in going forward with this, John?
I am.
Awesome.
So, but we still have to advertise for
Yeah,
sure.
okay.
So let's get that in the paper. And like Pam and Jim talked, you can get together on the job description, and that way we're not paying for a big ad. Okay?
That's what we did, that's
Is
what we
Mr.
did.
Flynn coaching any of the basketball
That's what we
teams?
did for Corey.
Nope.
We just downsized it and then they.
The basketball player.
You know,
Yep.
He was.
Thank you. Awesome. So we get that advertised.
you need a motion for that.
Give me a motion and a second advertise.
I'll make that motion.
Mel,
That we posted.
second. Rick? Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
That way we can get it done and get it out of the way and move on. Anything else on youth at all?
Ski club starts up in another couple of weeks, and I think we've got a record number of kids that signed up for that as well.
Yeah. My grandson actually signed up.
What is this? Good.
Yeah.
Ski club.
Thank you. Courtney? Pam?
I want to wish Diane Miller a happy birthday today.
Yeah. I knew you couldn't keep it.
Trying to be a secret, huh?
39.
Go look in my office.
Yeah, young 39 today.
Now getting closer to Medicare.
Also, so Larry Cromie did get the report, the appraisal in, I believe it was at 135, to the real estate department through DASNY. Danielle DeSorbo sent me an email yesterday that someone from the real estate department should be calling Larry to discuss his appraisal and this coming week, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Finally.
Thank you.
Been a long haul for that one.
Yes, it was. Getting on top. Mike?
Kind of a late Christmas present, but like I said, Hague was there this morning.
That's nice of you to come up.
To we're gonna start making our first batch of, brine. I wish it was tomorrow because we're rushing. We had a couple pieces of pipe left. While they're there, they look at the cameras we got in, the tracking unit. We got 2 of them. And then I brought them out to look at that slide-in brine maker. That's not right. They think with a couple of adjustments that we can slide it and just change one pipe, which we now have because we hard piped our salt brine maker to the tank, so we got that extra pipe. Might have to drill a hole too, but they're confident that can be done, so
Wow, good.
we didn't want to touch it because of the warranty, but those guys fabricate everything because they're a low budget, so and they want to weld, and they don't think anything's gonna have to be welded, so, I'll talk to them more when I get back, that's why I'm gonna get out of here soon. But, hopefully, if they think it can do, maybe that'll be in the village truck next week. We'll pull the sander out, and we're gonna use, actually salt brine strictly for the village run and up where John Ryan lives. So, and then we'll be able to pre-treat, our road, so hopefully this will work out.
Also, your
Huh?
new guy.
Yep, Adam, Archer, took his road test, about a week and a half ago or so, he's passed. He's doing excellent, actually, he's worked with Tyler down in Nova Bus, so he's kinda pretty good with welding, fabricating, wiring, he's gonna be a good fit.
Andy's also done 2 runs, right?
Yep, he's already did 2 on his own, so once he got his test, we've been running him around showing him, he's gotta learn our other runs for the call-out list, because that's,
I got a question for you. Are you sure you wanna do up next to John Ryan's?
yeah. I'd blow a horn for him and get out of the road one day.
Maybe
Oh, yeah, I heard about me getting blown at.
You know it's gonna be on camera.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's on record now.
Yeah.
No, I had to blow the horn at me the other day with my snow blower.
Out the road there.
Oh, it was loud. Was that you?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, you
It's scary.
I wanted to see if I could knock your hat off, but it didn't work.
I figured it was your newest employee.
Anything else Mike needs?
No, I don't think so.
Talk them out of the offer.
Not this meeting. Maybe by the night.
So we saw a pickup on a flatbed, is that all over there?
That was a Ford. After that, we got, of course, everything dropped and it froze. We had the birches, we overcut trees. It was fine, no warning. They were in Quaker Highlands and they went to move up the road to get some more trees and it would not come out of gear. It must have blew a line. Of course, it had rained and everything and didn't see it and we couldn't do anything with it. So Jimmy had to come get it and it was a blowing line, so.
Fixed now?
Yeah, fix it.
Good news.
I would have reminded you too, Mel. I would have reminded you too. Don't you remember Pete always used to ask, is there anything else?
That's why you're the greatest confidential secretary of the town.
You're the best.
Anything else, Mike?
No.
Okay.
Hey,
No,
Brandy,
no, he doesn't have anything else.
Did you hear anything else on the catching that guy that stole everything?
There's still more stuff's going on in Peru and the areas and all over actually. I did hear they had a couple arrests. I don't think it's the big one, but we don't know. We don't know. But I did hear they had a couple arrests already. And I don't know if it's, like I said, it's the one that we really, I mean, we want all of them, but the one that, took the guns and stuff like
Right.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other thing is, I want to thank everyone, like I do every year, for everything. You guys, obviously, we have a great team here as a board, and everyone working together, and we want to continue doing that, into next year. Obviously, couldn't do it without everyone, and obviously, everyone here at the town hall. This year, we were able to buy for 76 families, 171 kids for the Christmas thing that. I threw together, 13 years ago we started, buying for a couple of families, so it just shows what this community, when it comes together. I did have all the families pick it up at my house this year because last year I ran around for 14 hours trying to coordinate times for the families and kids not being home and around. So this year I just said, it was too much last year. Every single family came to my house within like 10-15 minute time of when they were scheduled. I had to expand it over a 4-day time, and it worked out absolutely perfect. But everyone that gives and everyone that helps and puts that together it's awesome. It is wonderful. April downstairs from JCO has helped me, get more families, help me with families, that came in late, barely on the borderline for the money that they can make for the Christmas barrel. The school, counselors, teachers. I've had teachers come over to my house, pick up gifts that families that they thought needed help. It's worked out wonderful, wonderful.
Great job, Randy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Believe me, if it wasn't for everyone coming together and giving, we cannot do this every year. So absolutely wonderful. Other than that, just want to thank everyone for a great 2022, and let's hope and pray 2023 gets better and this flu and everything else gets better, because boy, that's going around like crazy. Not COVID so much, but it's still COVID, but it's a big flu thing going around too. So, other than that, anyone else? Okay. I need public comments on agenda items only.
You know, I think, speaking as a citizen, I want to thank the town board for all the hard work they do too, and not everybody's willing to do this nowadays. And and the staff here, everybody puts out the best they know how, I think, so.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Ryan.
I wish we had more residents attend the meetings, that's my biggest problem, but I don't know how to do it.
So do we, because when the sum goes down to the decision, that's the only time we see people if it's a big decision, you know. It'd be great to hear from people ahead of time, you know, because
And Mike got, one of the biggest things this year was Mike got rid of the infamous yellow line through Buttonwood there, so. Some of you were, that's when we had a big crowd, I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
About 30 people showed up when he put the yellow line down there, and now it's gone.
That their kids couldn't play in the street anymore.
Want to thank you, John, for all that you do for covering everything in town.
Yeah, you do an excellent job, too, like your website.
I'd like to find another writer, that's what I really would like, somebody else interested in contributing. Because especially stories about kids really go a long ways, and human interest story. The one on the Jamaican went to about 30,000 people.
it was unbelievable. It was unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, people shared that.
Yeah. So stories like that really go a long ways. The town board only, I think the average meeting has about 50 views, which isn't bad.
That's 50 more than we have show up anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like my Facebook page, you know, you post good things, it does get around very good, it gets around great. You post a thing about the crime thing, and there was 1,400 shares. I mean, it's like,
Exactly.
bad news travels better than good news, which is sad, you know. Which you want it to travel, but you also want the good stuff to travel. But thank you, John. Anything else? If not, we are going to make a motion in a second to pay the bills.
Make it.
Jim Douglas, second by Mel, resolution Diane.
Resolution authorizing the post-audit payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices of the town. Whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in December 2022. From town approved vouchers in December 2022, 20220001575 through and including 202201676. Abstract dated December 27th, 2022 for the dollar amount totaling $573,171.96. Of that, $19,358.48 was wired, credit cards, and prepaid, and $553,813.48 is remaining to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable in amount, now therefore be it resolved that payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor be and hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. We don't need an executive session as far as I know. Nice way to end the year. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make it.
Rick made it, Jim second, all in favor?
Aye.